Welcome back to The Calm Classroom, the podcast dedicated to cultivating tranquility and creativity in the learning environment. I'm your host, Ellie Laird, and in today's episode, titled Calm and Creative Learning Spaces, we'll explore the art of designing a classroom layout that inspires focus, imagination, and innovation. Imagine stepping into a classroom where there are purposeful places that nurture calmness and spark creativity instead of cluttered walls that are visually overstimulating. That's precisely what we aim to achieve with our approach to classroom organization. From cozy reading corners to vibrant innovation stations, each space serves a unique purpose in fostering a positive and dynamic learning environment. In this episode, we will provide you with several different ideas to incorporate into your calm classroom. I don't know what your classroom layout looks like, but chances are you don't have much space after all your desks are put into place and bookshelves are assembled. That's why I stress the importance of picking and choosing spaces that meet your needs and convey the type of environment you want. Our aim isn't to convince you to include every one of these spaces in your classroom, but rather to pick and choose 1 to 2 spaces that best matches your personality as a teacher. Remember, too much of anything will provide the opposite effect. Keep it simple and stick to 1 to 2 spaces. Let's get started. We're going to start with my favorite, the Book Nook, a cozy retreat where students can escape into the world of literature and imagination. For this area, you'll need a few things that you can probably find at your own home or at a secondhand store. In my Book Nook, I throw a rug down that can be easily cleaned and vacuumed. You do not want to put a shag rug or an overly furry rug in your classroom anywhere, believe me. This can turn into a disaster. You'll also need pillows. The best pillows for a classroom setting are weather-resistant pillows made for outdoor furniture, believe it or not. Not only are they water-resistant, but they're also a lot more durable. The next thing I include in my Book Nook is a basket filled with inexpensive fleece blankets. I found a pack of 8 cozy blankets on Amazon for about $45. That's pretty reasonable. These blankets can be easily thrown in the washing machine once a week to keep your classroom hygienic. Make sure your Book Nook is placed near a bookshelf filled with books at appropriate reading levels. There's one last thing I include in my Book Nook. This might be something teachers of younger grades will appreciate more than older grades. I have a basket filled with reading buddies. These are just random stuffed animals that students can whisper read to. This makes reading fun, but it also has a purpose. While my students are whisper reading to their reading buddy, I can go around and listen and observe to see if they're reading fluently. But it's less intimidating when they're focused on reading to their reading buddy. Picture this, a space furnished with plush pillows, soft blankets, and shelves overflowing with captivating books. The Book Nook invites students to unwind, explore new worlds, and cultivate a love for reading. My next space idea is called the Zen Zone, a tranquil oasis designed to promote mindfulness and relaxation. I utilize this space in my classroom for students who need a little extra help regulating their emotions. The Zen Zone is meant for only 1 student at a time, to allow for the best possibility of de-escalation. In my Zen Zone, I provide different options meant to help students self-regulate. Here are a few ideas. Situate your Zen Zone at a small table with comfortable seating like cushions or inflatable wiggle seat pillows. Include a small, warm light table lamp, a basket filled with a sand timer or a water bubble timer. In the past, my Zen Zone had a small sand garden with a rake, but that kind of turned into a disaster. At one point, I also had a small, inexpensive water feature, which also probably wasn't the best idea. If you're going to include those 2 things in your classroom, you need to be very clear with your students of how they should be using them and how not to use them. Include laminated pictures of nature to look at and breathing exercise cards. Other options for your Zen Zone are Play-Doh or clay or other fidgets to manipulate. Remember from our previous episode that neutral blues, greens, and muted oranges are colors to focus on for content and serene focus. Try to include these colors in your Zen Zone. This space offers students a peaceful retreat where they can practice mindfulness techniques, engage in deep breathing exercises, or simply find moments of quiet introspection amidst the hustle and bustle of the school day. Let's move on to our next calm and creative space. This one's called the Secret Sanctuary. It's a hidden gem tucked away from the typical classroom chaos. You might think this sounds very similar to the Zen Zone, but it's actually entirely different. This space can only be accessed by students who have earned a Secret Sanctuary token. This is one of my favorite spaces because you can include it in your classroom management routine to encourage good behavior. The Secret Sanctuary has items that aren't typically used during the typical class day, like glitter glue, felt and gel pens, scented markers and twistables, stickers, a cute clipboard, and more. It includes a cozy place to sit and journal or work quietly. My Secret Sanctuary also has fairy twinkle lights strung up to make it more inviting. You can make your Secret Sanctuary concealed behind a curtain or a bookshelf, or even in a small teepee-type tent if you have room in your classroom. This cozy nook offers students a private space for reflection, journaling, or engaging in solitary activities that nurture their creativity and self-expression. It's a privilege that must be earned, though. If I see a student displaying exceptional behavior beyond what is expected in the classroom, I might hand this student a 15-minute Secret Sanctuary token that they can redeem during independent work time. I will say it is one of my most popular rewards and really motivates students to go above and beyond. Decked out with soft blankets, floor cushions, and twinkle lights, the Secret Sanctuary invites students to escape the chaos and immerse themselves in moments of peaceful solitude. Now it's time to move on to a space called the Active Alcove. This has to be one of my all-time favorites. I don't have one in my classroom this year due to space, but if you have an overly active student, this is the space for your classroom. It's a dynamic space designed to promote movement and physical activity. In the Active Alcove, you can provide many different options for movement. Here are some ideas. First off, you need a sand timer. Otherwise, students will try to stay in there all day. You can include a balance ball chair, a mini trampoline, an aerobic step, or a yoga mat. You'll also need cards with pictures of exercise and stretching prompts on them. If you notice a student getting particularly restless, give them a chance to visit the Active Alcove to let them let off a little steam. The Active Alcove encourages students to stay active and energized throughout the day, enhancing their focus and overall well-being. Next, we have the Crafty Corner, a creative haven where students can unleash their artistic talents and express themselves through art and craft projects. Here are some ideas of what you can include in your Crafty Corner. You'll probably want a table with about 3 to 4 seats. You might want themed art challenges, a variety of different types of paper, glue, coloring materials, paint and paint brushes, crafting supplies like pipe cleaners, pom-poms, sequins, stencils, stickers, and more. Air-dry clay packets are always a hit too. Don't forget paper towels or wet wipes for cleaning. Stocked with a variety of art supplies from paints and markers to clay and collage materials, the Crafty Corner inspires students to explore their creativity and think outside the box. Now let's step into the writer's Wonderland, a magical space where words come to life and stories unfold. In this space, you'll want to include some of these ideas: a writing desk and an area with multiple seats, writing journals or paper, lots of pencils and pens, writing prompts of various genres, and you can also create a classroom publishing center where students can share their work with their classmates. This could be a binder with clear page projectors that students can insert their work into for others to read, or something similar to that. This should be a cozy writing nook equipped with writing prompts, journals, writing materials, and publishing pages. The Writer's Wonderland encourages students to embrace the writing process experiment with different genres, and discover the power of their own voice. Our next calm and creative classroom space is called the Innovation Station. It's a hub of creativity and problem solving. Here, students have access to hands-on materials for STEM projects and design challenges. Here are some ideas on what to include in an innovation station if this is something you want to include in your classroom. You'll definitely need a place to build. Building design or problem-solving cards are essential for this station. You might also consider having paper available so students can sketch designs out. Here are some hands-on building materials that require creativity. Small Dixie cups, popsicle sticks, Legos, blocks, magnetiles or magnetic bars, clay, Play-Doh, and an iPad or something to take pictures of designs with. The Innovation Station empowers students to explore new ideas, collaborate with peers, and tackle real-world problems with confidence and ingenuity. Last but not least, we have the Maker's Market, a space where students can showcase their creations to their peers. This is a display place. This is one of my all-time favorite spaces to have in my classroom. Students use their skills and creativity to make DIY projects on their own time, whether it's at home or during free time in the classroom. This is a space to display those creations, whether they are friendship bracelets, clay, sculptures, paintings, Lego designs, keychains, candles, or whatever they choose to make on their own time. In the past, I've taken this a step further and had a weekly Maker's Market shopping day, where students can use their class tokens to purchase items from the market. The students who created the items get to keep the tokens for future use in the classroom. One reason I love this space is because it doesn't take up too much room or time. All you really need is shelving to display the items. When you see students displaying exceptional behavior outside of the expected classroom behavior, give them a Maker's Market token that they can spend on an item made by another student. Not only is this an awesome way to include rewards in your classroom management system, it also helps students get a glimpse of a small economy early on in their lives. Students can earn Maker's Market tokens by having exceptional behavior or selling their own awesome creations on specific shopping days. Whether it's a DIY project, a science experiment, or an entrepreneurial venture, the Maker's Market celebrates students' curiosity, resourcefulness, and innovation, providing a platform for them to share their talents with the world. By incorporating one or two of these diverse spaces into your classroom layout, you can create a dynamic and inspiring environment that encourages exploration, collaboration, and personal growth while keeping your classroom calm. You might be asking, but wait, when would I ever have time to incorporate any of these ideas into my everyday teaching? My days are only filled with instructional minutes. Here's what I do. I set up 1 to 2 stations in my classroom that I know will meet the needs of my unique class. Sometimes we even do a class vote on which ones should be included in the classroom so that they are more invested in them. Then, during the week when I do reading stations, I make sure that one of my stations is called Free Space. Usually, I only have about 6 to 8 students per group, so providing a small group rotation that they can choose to utilize a classroom space makes it a perfectly calm experience. That rotation also pretty much runs itself as I give explicit instructions on what each space is designed for, and I also clarify consequences for students who do not use the space correctly, so it's less planning on my part. Well, that's all I have for calm and creative classroom spaces. Join us next time as we continue our exploration of the calm classroom, delving into more principles of tranquil engagement. Until then, keep embracing tranquility and teaching with compassion. This is Ellie Laird, signing off. Take care and stay calm.